Could you explain a little more about what you've called the mind of the consumer and the nature of the product, and explain how you actually apply these concepts to find the companies with the growing demand and the best investment potential?
When you get into consumer products, you're really interested in finding out or thinking about what is in the mind of how many people throughout the world about a product now and what it's likely to be in their mind 5 or 10 or 20 years from now. Now, virtually every person in the globe, maybe, well, let's get it down to 75% of the people in the globe, have some notion in their mind about Coca-Cola. They have, the word Coca-Cola means something to them. RC Cola doesn't mean anything to virtually anyone in the world. But everybody has something in their mind about Coca-Cola. And overwhelmingly, it's favorable. It's associated with pleasant experiences. Now, part of that is by design. I mean, it is where you are happy. That position in the mind is pretty firmly established. And it's established in close to 200 countries around the world with people. A year from now, it will be established in more minds, and it will have a slightly different overall position. And 10 years from now, the position can move just a little bit more. It's share of mind. It's not share of market. It's share of mind that counts. Disney, same way. Disney means something to billions of people. And if you're a parent with a couple of young children and you got 50 videos in front of you that you can buy, you're not going to sit down and preview an hour and a half of each video before deciding what one to stick in front of your kids. You have got something in your mind about Disney, and you don't have it about the ABC video company, or you don't even have it about you don't have it about 20th Century, or you don't have it about Paramount. So just think of what somebody would pay if they could actually buy that share of mind, of billions of people around the world. You can't do it. You can't do it by $1 billion advertising budget or a $3 billion advertising budget or hiring 20,000 super salesmen. So you've got that. Now, the question is, what does that stand for 5 or 10 or 20 years from now? There'll be more people. There'll be more people that have heard of Disney. And that there will always be parents that are interested in having something for their kids to do, and that kids will love the same sort of things. And that whoops. He emphasizes the key points when we get to those. But that is what you're trying to think about with the consumption product. That's what Charlie and I were thinking about when we bought See's Candy. That position in the mind is what counts with a consumer product. And that means you have a good product, very good product. It means you may need tons of infrastructure because you got to have that. In World War II, General Eisenhower, said to Mr. Woodruff that he wanted a Coca-Cola within arm's length of every American serviceman in the world, and they built a lot of bottling plants to take care of that. That sort of positioning can be incredible. It seems to work especially well for American products. I mean, people want certain types of American products worldwide. Our music, our movies, our soft drinks, our fast food. You can't imagine, at least I can't, a French firm or a German firm or a Japanese firm having that selling 47 or 48% of the world's soft drinks. I mean, it just doesn't happen that way. It's part of something you could broadly call an American culture, and the world hungers for it. And you told me to displace the Coca-Cola company as the leader in the world in soft drinks. I wouldn't have the faintest idea how to do it. Those are the kind of businesses we like. Charlie?
Yeah. I think the See's Candy example has an interesting teaching lesson for all of us. It's the first time we really stepped up for brand quality, and it was a very hard jump for us who had been used to buying dollar bills for 50 cents. And the interesting thing was that if they had demanded an extra $100,000 for the See's Candy Company, we wouldn't have bought it. And by accident, they didn't ask the extra $100,000 for it, and we did buy it, and as it succeeded, we kept learning. I think that shows that the name of the game is continuing to learn, and even if you're very well trained and have some natural aptitude, you still need to keep learning, and that brings along the delicate problem. People sometimes talk about two aging executives. I don't know what the hell that means as an adjective, because I don't know anybody that is going in the other direction. But
if we hadn't have bought See's with some subsequent developments after that, because that made us aware of other things, we wouldn't have bought Coca-Cola in 1988. I mean, you can give See's a significant part of the credit. It just made us start thinking more. We saw how decisions we made in relation to See's played out in a marketplace and that sort of thing, and we saw what worked and didn't work, and it made us appreciate a lot what did work and shy away from things that didn't work. But it definitely led to a Coca-Cola, and we've had the good luck to buy some businesses themselves in their entirety that taught us a lot, and it's worked in the other direction. I mean, we were in the windmill business one time. Charlie stayed out of the windmill business, but I was in the windmill business and pumps and third-level department or second-level department stores, and I just found out how tough it was and how you could apply all kinds of energy to them, and it didn't do any good. It made a great deal of sense to figure out what pond to jump in, and what pond you jumped in was probably more important than how well you could swim. Charlie?
I don't think it's necessary that people be as ignorant as we were, as long as we were. I think American education could be better, but not in the hands of many of the people who are now teaching it.
Is there any group we've forgotten to offend? I mean,